Action!
Okay. Hey, he spoke. He spoke. Whitley.
Hello.
We are back, and it is episode 9 of Airin Wit. And if you can't tell, we have a special guest in the building as promised.
Hard to miss him.
Now, you're supposed to cheers before you take a sip.
Oh, I apologize.
So
I was
let's
just getting ready.
cheers to
Cheers,
Festus
y'all.
Ezeli being here, obviously
Cheers.
NBA champion, correspondent now for the NBA, and our good friend who also has Festus Feast, which is why he's here today. Not necessarily why he's here, but like I said last episode, Festus Feast collab with Airin Wit, and so we're here, Whitley. Episode 9.
Are you ready for these hard-hitting questions,
I'm
Festus?
ready. I brought the wine. I told you I was ready to go.
This wine is good, too.
And it is good. As you guys know, we usually do white wine, but
It's a special occasion.
This wine is from 2015 when we won a championship. So I
Great
thought it
year.
was a very special occasion to break this out.
We
So
appreciate
thank y'all
it.
for having me.
no
love it.
problem. Let's start there. Should we start there? You led us straight into it.
Let's go.
2015, you guys won an NBA championship. Now, we'll start here and then we'll double back because we actually want to learn about you before the championship.
Okay.
But what do you remember about that year? Let's start there.
I remember we hired Steve Kerr. This is after firing Mark Jackson. We all really liked Mark. And losing a coach, especially after we had some success with him, was hard. So you know this feeling where like your homie gets fired, so the next person kind of gets a little bit of your, like, you kind of side-eyed him a little bit. That's what Steve Kerr got when he came in.
Y'all was
You know,
side-eyeing
I mean,
Kerr?
we're just trying to figure out what's going on, man. This guy never coached before.
Yeah.
But, you know, the really interesting thing is, you know, when he got hired, Steve, people kept coming up to me. Like, this would be on the street. This would be at Summer League. They'd be like, man, y'all hired Steve Kerr. Man, such a nice guy. Next person came up to me, man, y'all hired Steve Kerr. Man, amazing dude. Third person came out. I was like, yo, is he paying people to come say what's up to us? And true to form. Like, he's really every bit of that. He's just an incredible guy.
Incredible guy.
I kind of want to ask now, even though we were talking
Go
about this later
ahead.
on, Warriors culture, because I feel like Steve Kerr was a big part of that. But you mentioned Mark Jackson. Did it start maybe with him, Warriors culture?
Man, we thought we were going to win a championship with Mark. Like, we had that confidence and that belief in ourselves. And we were young, so we didn't really understand. This is Kobe Bryant's NBA. This is Kevin Durant's NBA. It's LeBron James's NBA. And we felt like we had a chance. This is a young Steph. This is a young Clay, young Draymond, myself, Harrison Barnes. Andrew Bogut was coming back from an injury. We had David Lee on the team. We had a bunch of guys. We had Jermaine O'Neal, Richard Jefferson, Jarrett Jack. I could go all the way down the line, Brandon Rush. And we had a really talented team. I think Mark Jackson's one of those guys that when he coaches, it's like he's preaching. During the game, before the game, you feel like you're about to go run through a wall and you don't care if anything. You're not even going to look back to see if your leg broken. You're just like, go try to break that wall, you know?
I'm done.
And we had that
Not
kind
the
of
leg,
team.
bro.
But yeah, I mean, that's what he did. I mean, he said a lot of things that he didn't stutter. He was like, yo, Steph and Clay, best backcourt in the history of the NBA. And everybody was looking at him like, yo, this dude's crazy. Like, what you talking about? You know, and even us, we're looking like, you know?
You sure?
Yeah, I mean, like, well, I'm like, yo, like, that's history. Like, you gotta think about all the greats that played the game. At this time, we're just starting. So put that on them, and he did that to the right guys. He knew exactly how to push those buttons. He did that to those guys, but he did that to everybody. He challenged Draymond to be a better defender, challenged Clay to be a better defender. And along the way, just a bunch of different guys challenged Steph. I remember one game, halftime playing against the Sacramento Kings. I think Isaiah Thomas, he must have had like 21 points on Steph. Like, he was kicking his ass. And he was taking his ball too. And at halftime, and Steph was trying to play the right way. Steph is always going to try to play the right way. And at halftime, Mark Jackson was like, I'm willing to lose this game based on the fact that you just said, forget that, I'm going right back at the other guy. And that was the kind of confidence he gave the guys. Wow. And when you see Steph, like, you've never seen Steph have 2 back-to-back bad games. Like, if he has a bad game on you, the next time, it's going to be 50. You know what I mean? And it's that mentality. And you talked about culture, and those things were built back then.
So let's talk about, you said young Steph, young Clay. Let's talk about young Festus before we dive deeper into, obviously, the blood of the Warriors when you were there and how that's continued through the years. And when I say that, I mean like them being true to the culture that you just explained and them taking it throughout the next decade. Because obviously you guys won plenty of championships when it comes to the dynasty that's built. You won the one in 2015, but they continue to win. Now, that said, Festus, you had to take a journey over here. You're from Nigeria. So you didn't start out growing up here in the States. What was the transition like for you as a basketball player, but for you as a person too?
Well, the basketball journey only started in America. I moved to the States when I was a teenager. I was 14 years old. And when I moved here because my family thought it's just a better opportunity for me here. Being a young kid, I was very academically inclined. Like I was good in school. I graduated high school at 14. And one day...
Oh, wait, you graduated at 14?
I graduated high school.
And okay.
I wanted to be a doctor. So my family sent me to the States to actually live with my uncle who's a doctor. And they wanted him to be my mentor. So I moved here. This is my first time, kind of living with him, being around this guy. I'm tall. We walk around all over the place, and people kept asking me if I played basketball. And this is the funny thing, because I never played sports. And it wasn't part of my lifestyle growing up. Some people play soccer. I didn't play that either. And I was kind of a video game guy. I played, I was good in whatever school stuff was going on. And it's this weird pressure of being a tall, young black kid, where people just expect you to play basketball. And everywhere I go,
welcome to America.
I think this is all over the world too now.
Okay,
because I would walk around everywhere. People ask me if I play basketball. After a while, my uncle got frustrated. He was like, "Yo, let's just try and see. Like maybe there's something to this basketball thing." Found a basketball team on the back of a newspaper.
Really?
What?
We didn't know where to go to find
So y'all
one.
went to the newspaper. I know that's right.
Okay, so I'll tell you where I moved to. I moved to Yuba City. Yuba City is an hour north of Sacramento, a small farm town. And moving over here, I had only ever seen on TV New York, Miami, all these big cities. So I flew into New York. I was there, Times Square. I'm like, wow, America. Then I fly to San Francisco. I'm looking around like, damn, this is beautiful. Then I keep driving. I drive to Sacramento. Like, all right. And I keep driving to the farm town, see farms, see cows. I'm like, yo, where am I at? Are they driving me back to Nigeria? And Yuba City, the basketball team that he signed me up for was, I'm the only black guy on the team. So I'm signing up the first day, and I had this expectation of being good, but I've never played before.
So what type of team was this? Was it an AAU, EYBL?
Something like, I don't
Summer league team?
It probably was a summer league team, but I signed up for this in like October, November. I came in August.
So was it like a church league? You don't know.
I have no idea.
It was just a team.
It was a team of ragtag individuals. It was a raggedy bunch of people, man.
I'm so dumb.
Oh, man. I was the one leading it. I was the biggest one, a black kid. They looked at me like I was a savior. I showed up the first day of practice with church shoes on. So I didn't even know what to wear.
Wow. Yeah. Church shoes.
So, it's a long story. My journey is
Did you
crazy.
Practice in the church shoes?
No, I had to go home and go get some shoes.
Okay. You left the part out. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
And my first basket I ever scored was against my own team.
Wait.
I really didn't know the rules. I didn't know that at halftime you switch ends of the court. I didn't know how to dribble. I didn't know how to shoot. Like, I didn't know anything.
Fun fact, I did that one time, first team. But I was in the 4th grade, though.
No, I was 15. So, what's different? No, it's crazy because you got to think about it this way, right? I'm happy we can laugh about it now because at the time you're looking at, like, the kids are looking at me like, yo, what we doing? So it's already bad enough that you are bad, but now you bad and you're hurting us too. So it's like, yo, get this dude off the court.
It happens.
I got cut from the team, right? And it's just really interesting how this journey goes, and it's much longer than I'm trying to shorten it up for y'all. I tried to play in the high school, Jesuit High School in Sacramento. I got cut from that team. So I thought my journey was done with basketball. I'm like, I'm just gonna go to JUCO. I'm gonna, be pre-med, and I'm gonna go to school. I'm gonna go to UC Davis, hopefully.
At that point, had you already fallen in love with the sport?
No, how long I fall in love with a game I'm terrible at? I was like, nah, I actually don't want to play no more. All I remember is everybody being mad at me for even trying to play.
Okay.
And it's funny, I hope you guys are ready for this because I'm about to be a little emotional. You're gonna be drinking wine on this.
No, cheers to that.
Yeah,
cheers to the realness, because this is what Airin Wit is about. We air wit. We air wit.
We air it all out.
Get emotional. Get honest.
No, I always say that what's for you is always gonna be for you, because I was done with the game, but I had people who literally chased me down. Like, I was going to a junior college, Yuba College, right? I'm like 15 and a half, 16 years old. And I'm, taking these biology classes, chemistry classes. And I guess the coach had heard there's a 7-footer walking around here, walking around campus. This dude literally found me and chased me down and was like, yo, I don't know who you are, but you got to come to practice.
Okay.
I was like, what? Nah, I'm like, dude, I don't play. I'm trying to let him know, like, I already got cut. I'm not good. I'll be scoring on my own team. I need you to understand what's going on.
Done.
And he convinced me to come to practice to watch them play. And after a little while, he was like, he saw that I couldn't play, but he was like, man, like, if I can teach this kid, we're going to be all right. Like, good kid, whatever. And I always wanted to work, so we would be in the gym, practicing, working on stuff. Meanwhile, I also met another guy when I was at the high school. This other guy was like, yo, if you ever want to play in my summer team with my son, just, we could do it. That's a whole nother story too, because I try to call my parents and be like, hey, this is this guy. I met this guy. He said I could travel with his team. We stay in hotels together. And they were like,
no.
Absolutely
15
not.
years old. They're like, hell no.
Yeah.
So,
like, you're not going to kidnap my kid.
man, or anything even worse,
Yeah.
So, but these two guys, during the year, I'd be practicing with the JUCO team. I was actually the video guy for the team. That's how I would travel with the team. I was a video guy because I wasn't playing with them. I just practiced with them because they thought that I would practice with them till I was 18 and then I'd play.
Yeah.
So, I had cameras just like these. We get off the bus, people are looking at me like, oh my God. And then I whip out the tripod and they were like, yo, what's going on? Yo, crazy story, man. And sometimes I feel like that's not even a real, like, it feels like a different life. Because here I am 1 second being a video guy, like recording the games, and next second I have all these scholarship offers to go, wherever I wanted to go. And I was still raw, but they could see something. You could see me blocking shots. You see me dunking on people now. And that came from playing in AAU too. Like so it's a crazy story. I practiced with a JUCO and I played AAU because I was still young.
Yeah, you were 15.
Yeah, I was 16.
16.
Crazy.
Goodness gracious, yeah.
But yeah, after this, a couple years, I got scholarships. I ended up getting all these scholarships to go different places. I chose Vanderbilt. Chose it because I still wanted to be a doctor. It was one of the best medical schools out there. I thought
in Tennessee.
Nashville, Tennessee.
Right by Memphis.
Yeah. Okay, I was a little far away, but it's fine.
It's 2 hours.
But yeah, no, I got to Vandy, and that was my real intro. That was my real intro to team basketball, because before this, I just play AAU. It's like whoever is available that weekend is who you play with. But when I got to Vandy, I had a coach in Kevin Stallings. Everywhere else I took a visit to, everybody else, it's kind of like the pretty girl at the bar, right? Dudes just say whatever you want. Like, y'all know about this, right?
No.
You said no?
I said,
All right, y'all trying to be humble. Okay, I get it. And, at each college, they just say whatever you want. Oh, yeah, we'll give you whatever. We'll, you play whatever. And this is the first person. I remember it was like a private conversation with me and Kevin Stallings. Like, he had me sit in his car. It was just me and him. Everywhere else, it was me and my guardian and all these other people. It was just me and him. He locked the door. He was like, man, what you want to do with this game? And I said, I don't know, but this is my first time on a team. And I really just want to learn how to be on the team. I said, okay. I was like, I want to see how good I can be. And he looked at me. He was like, I hope you know what you're asking for, because it's going to be hard. I'm going to be hard on you. One, I'm going to be extremely hard on you. But two, I want you to know that I'm never going to give up on you. And for me as a young kid that left his family at a young age, I needed that. Like, I needed that kind of mentorship. I needed to hear that from another, like, older man, from a father figure type person. So when I heard that, it was kind of a made decision for me. And it was a mixture of that, and I love my teammates. It was very different from a couple other schools where I went there, and people thought I was coming to take their spots. So they were trying to fight me in practice and stuff. So it's just a different vibe.
That's crazy.
You know?
That leads into your question that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, but I did want to ask one more thing, because
Okay.
you asked us this when we joined you on Festus Feast.
Okay.
You talked about how hard it was, and you just basically learning the game when everyone you were playing with at that age had been playing for years. As tough as it was, what inspired you to keep going with that, and what was your why? Who was your why? Why did you continue to do it?
My why? When you ask me that question, I think back to 2 moments. I remember, like, my second year, my sophomore year. I redshirted my first year, which means, if you don't know what redshirting means, I was a practice player, my first year in college. So I practice, I work hard, I'm doing all the things, but I don't play. My second year, I'm practicing, and I'm raw the whole way through my first year. Like, I'm getting my ass kicked every day in practice. We had this big guy, 7-footer from Australia. He was nice, like NBA prospect, first round, whatever. He was kicking my ass every day. Second year, now, like, people starting to see a little bit of resistance. Like, yo, like, Fest, you know, might win this one, then you might win that one. Halfway through my second year, like, I'm winning. But before all this, like, I remember my coach was, like, so hard. Like, he was tough on me. Like, but I deserved it. Like, I remember one of the first times I ever ran in college, like, halfway through the running, I just went and sat down. Like, I was like, this is too much. Like, I can't, like, I
And
just
now
went
you
sat
work out
down.
all the time.
But you know what's crazy, though? He didn't even yell at me. He just let everybody else, he made everybody else keep running. And like 5 minutes of watching them run, I tried to jump in. He was like, no, sit there, watch them. Watch them run. See how much of a good teammate you are. And I think that did something to me, because like, that hurts more than, like, he could have cussed me out, he could have said anything else, but he told me to watch my teammates run while I sat on the sidelines. And something about that, for if you know me at all, you know that's the one, like, I'm team, like, I want to be, I never want to be the weak link. I want to be the guy to support, to push the team up. And that never happened again. But not only that, that became my motivation. I never wanted to be that guy. So my why was the fact that I never wanted to be the weak link.
That's a pretty good why, because that's always going to be a motivator to keep you pushing. You don't want to be the weakest link, because like they always say, you are only as strong as your weakest link, and you don't want to be the reason why that link breaks. That's crazy. That's actually a really good story. That's wild. Okay, so I want to know, because of that, that was your why, so you continued. You find yourself drafted in the NBA, coming to the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
Did you look up and say, at that point, I didn't expect to be here? Or because I focused on my why and I was a team player from that point on out, I landed here and I deserve to be here? What was that day for you like? And then pushing forward, once you found yourself in the NBA and you were playing, did you believe that you deserved to be there?
I didn't even go to the NBA draft. Like, I didn't know, like, they had my name on the first round. I didn't know what was gonna happen.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna stay at home with my parents. At this point, my family just moved to America. So I wanted to sit home with my mom and my dad. And it's a nerve-wracking process to just sit there, because you've gone through all the pre-draft stuff, you've gone through all the interviews, you worked out for different teams. And so you think everybody's gonna pick you, right? Because you worked out for a bunch of teams, especially when you're like that end of first round, second round type guy. And I had an injury my last year in college where I almost didn't play again. So these are all the factors I was dealing with. So you start hearing number 1 pick, Anthony Davis. By the way, Anthony Davis, I beat in the SEC championship my senior year.
Little tidbit of information for you guys.
Like, it was a big deal for us, right? Like, the first championship that we won at Vanderbilt in 40 years, that's huge for us. Like, to be a part of that, especially coming from where I came from, y'all know, I started playing just a little bit ago, so like, it was special. So I already had one special. I'm like, I'm already doing something special. But this next part was crazy, because now you start hearing your name, like, maybe NBA draft. You get to 25, 26, you're like, man, like, whew, you start sweating. And then you start seeing your name pop up as the next best pick. So when they called my name, first round 30th pick, Festus Ezeli, I didn't even, I feel like everything just went blank.
Really?
You know, I just went to my dad. I put my head on his shoulders, and my dad is very stoic. He just looked at me with this sense of pride. You know, there's so many reasons why that was special.
Mm-hmm.
Halfway through college, I changed my major. I changed from biology to economics because I didn't have enough time to give my attention to both. And I said I really wanted to give my all to this game because I started to fall in love with it. But here's the thing. I'm Nigerian. We don't just make decisions all willy-nilly, you know?
No.
So I had to sit with my family. It was a literal roundtable discussion. And I sat there. There's my dad, my mom, my uncle, who I live with, and my grandparents. And I had to tell them, listen, I know you guys want me to be a doctor.
Because I heard as a Nigerian, well, I didn't hear, Winnie Osefo is one of the Real Housewives of Potomac, and she said, as a Nigerian, you can only be a doctor or lawyer.
Engineer, or you're a failure.
She said, or you're a failure.
Really?
Yes.
So I'm sitting here in front of them telling them, I want to go play basketball. I don't want to be a doctor anymore. I want to see where this road takes me. And my mom is like, oh my God, you're throwing your life away. You know, after everything was said and done, my uncle was mad.
Really?
Everything was said and done, though. They said, you know, this is your decision. It is your life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's important because that part of the story really shapes everything. Because when you think about the NBA draft, it's my dad looking at me. He's like, man, you really chose this path. That's crazy. And you didn't know anything about this game. And now here you are, NBA? What? We didn't even know what the NBA was, you know? So, yes, that was my feeling when I got drafted. It's just like, man. But then after you get drafted, you're feeling all these things. You're so excited. You're happy. You're almost crying. But then, the next 30 minutes after that, later that night, you're sitting there oh.
Back to business.
Oh, you about to be in the league with all the guys, everybody in the world. This is the guys you've been hearing about since college. The LeBrons, the Kobes, whoa. Oh, man. So then that's a whole different beast in your mind after that.
I can imagine. Just like this wine, honey, because I'm feeling it. Go ahead with your next question.
I want to change it to, a sad note, but your career, I feel like you've had to overcome so many obstacles and just everything that you've been through. Halliburton, we were just talking about this, finals, injuries, they're part of the game.
Yeah.
You've suffered injuries. As a player, how does that impact you mentally, physically? What are those, first few days like? How do you get through that when you suffer a serious injury?
First off, prayers up for Tyrese Halliburton because I watched that game and I can't watch injuries because I've been through so many myself.
And that one you could see.
The freaking ankle exploded. Dude, what is happening right now?
It literally looked like, I told Whitley, it looked like a rubber band popped under his sock.
The tough thing is, with being an athlete, there's this feeling of, you feel like you got to be tough. If something wrong is happening, if you rolled your ankle, it's be a man up, whatever that means, right? It's no, you got to play through it. And we do it ourselves too. We're like, yo, I don't care about the pain. I am trying to go win this battle. And people were telling him, don't play. You don't want to be like KD was when he played against the Toronto Raptors in the finals and he tore his Achilles. But it's game seven of the NBA finals. You essentially got to be your leg got to be cut off for you to not play. And it's such a tough position to be in. You got to think about the pressures that these athletes face. So I've been in those situations a few times. I've played those few times. I've been injured even more because of those few times. And one of those led to me being in a wheelchair for 6 months. That was tough because just before that, I was playing in the NBA Finals.
Oh, man.
So you got to think that I just won a championship. I just lost the championship the next year. And then after that, I got to go be in a wheelchair. So it was this weird feeling of I don't even understand God. How is this even possible? How could I be at the top of the top in the world in terms of athletic prowess? Millions of people are watching you all over the world to now I'm in my house by myself. I can't even walk to the bathroom and take care of my own stuff, or I can't even get my own food. Like, it's a very lonely journey to be injured because you go from the bright lights to it's just rehab every day. It's very basic things.
So what'd you do?
I tore a few things in my knee. I played through it. I thought I had a chance to win an NBA championship in 2016. It was the best team in NBA history, and like I said, your leg got to be cut off for you not to play. After that, I had a terrible surgery that just didn't go well. Blood clot almost went to my heart. All this, like, there's a bunch of things that happened. Almost died, almost didn't walk again. So when y'all see me happy and jumping all over the place and just being like a big kid, it's just because I'm so grateful. Like, on one hand, I never got to play. I got to play a little bit again. I played in the bubble in the G League with the Westchester Knicks. But after that, I never really got to play ball again. I don't play anymore, you know? And this thing that I loved, it went away. I think that's part of my journey now, is just to remind people to just appreciate right now. Because when I was playing, I never thought about like, I was always worried about the next thing. Like, I wanted to work so hard because I wanted, like, there's somebody else working harder than me. So I was always thinking about that. I was thinking about the next thing. Thinking, you win a championship, you want to go win the next one. Like, you just won a game, you want to go win the next. It's just this constant cycle. And that's for all of us. Like, everybody's always striving to do something. But I think the injury just reminded me to just take a beat. And the recovery was heavy. It was a lot. But the reason why I'm standing here today is because, dude, I built this beast myself from the beginning.
Period.
And so I got to rebuild it again. And whatever I learned in the first part of the journey, that's what I use in the second part. I think that's the story of our lives.
See, that's inspiring, because when we do see you at Warriors games, anywhere when we're out and about, like when we did Festus Feast, people are just always coming up to you nonstop, but you are very happy. What were you like that before your injuries, or you said that kind of made you more just like you're so thankful for everything now and so upbeat?
Yeah, I've always been happy because, like, you got to think, I came from Nigeria. I was looking for an opportunity when I came to the States. I got to be in the NBA. So, yeah, I've always been happy because, like, I'm living a dream that I prayed for. I prayed for all of these dreams. But I think when you go through something like that, like, you get to a different level of appreciation, because you just realize that just, like, you're not invincible. Like, I thought I was. Like, I used to actually say that. Like, I'm invincible. I used to say that on the court. Like, I used to walk in the gym barefooted and windmill. Like, it was crazy. I'm like, dude, I'm that kind of athlete. I'm invincible.
No tape? No tape on the ankles, nothing, just barefoot?
I just that's what I was. I was like, and I used to say stuff like, yeah, I'm African, I'm invincible, you know? And it's just interesting because you go from that to almost dying. I think that's the thing that shifts your perspective. You're just like, man, I really got to appreciate where I'm at. Like, it's not, you're not invincible. Like, anything can take this journey away, you know? So I want to make sure that I enjoy every bit of what's happening in my life. So when you see me out and about, when you see me on Instagram, when you see me on whatever, like, I just am enjoying my life right now.
So I want to ask that because I had every plan to ask you about, when you look back on your career, do you regret anything or would you change anything? And you can still answer that question, but I want to ask because you said that you felt invincible, which we work around athletes all the time, and you can just tell that they feel invincible all the time. And it's a tough transition from football to basketball to beyond baseball, to go from playing to not playing. And you kind of touched on what that transition was like for you and the reason why. But when you think about other athletes and when you think about yourself as an athlete feeling invincible, do you not take that feeling of invincibility, if that's a word, right? Yeah. Into, like, society? Like, does that change? Because I feel like, even being around you, I was telling her I joke around in my head and call you Mr. San Francisco, because there's not a corner you can walk on or a step you can take where it's not somebody saying, let's take a picture. Festus, can I take a picture? Can I take a picture? So, like, do you not still feel invincible? Do you not still feel that heightened joy to have you in the room or have you around when you stop playing? From the perspective of others, like others seeing you.
So let me take a different, like, a roundabout way to answer this question. So the way people treat me now in the Bay Area as a whole, they treat me like I'm still on the team, like I'm still a player on the championship team here in the Bay Area. And I feel it. I feel the love. I felt it even when I left and I signed with the Portland Trailblazers. Like the way people were crying for me leaving, I was like, man, like this city, Oakland at the time, the town, the city, like they really have genuine love for their players.
You're
And
also a fan favorite.
It's really amazing, you know. And when I first retired, I had a lot of anger towards the game. I was really mad because I felt like the game left me. It was hard for me because I gave so much. I wish I could explain to you in words how hard I had to work. Remember, I started off really late. So
Really late.
I had to work 4 times as hard as you just to be half as good as you. And the amount of work that I put in, like I can't even like I worked myself till I couldn't even move. Like I was hurting. I remember so many times where people would see me when I was like first got to college. I was scrawny, and like I remember my best friend now. Actually, there's a story he tells where he took a visit to Vanderbilt, and him and his parents were walking through. They saw me in the weight room, and I'm like trying to lift like it's like 210s or 220. I don't even know what it was on the sides of the bench press. My hands are shaking and stuff, and him and his parents walked by like it's gonna be a cakewalk because we're playing the same position. So they were like, "Nah, you're gonna sign here because you're gonna kick his ass," you know. And you know, I think all of those things, like seeing that, having that competition, and being able to overcome, and then getting to the NBA and still having those doubts. You're playing against the best players in the world and still working to overcome. And then you know, you get to a mountain that you feel like you can't climb anymore. Like I remember nights where I was laying in my bed. And I had this big cast on my knee after I got injured. And, you know, I have a couple of, like 7 surgeries in. I'm like, man, God, like, why am I here? Like, what's going on? I feel like I've been doing everything right. Treating people well. I'm doing these things well. You took me over here. Now you're going to take it away? Like, I don't understand what you're doing. What are we doing? So I started trying to bargain with God. I'm like, man, if you take us away, I'll do charity every year. I'll be the best person. And, I remember one day I woke up in the morning, I was just crying. Like I was not crying, not like the cute, like I'm crying. And I'm just like, God, what's going on, man? And my mom walks in. And I have African parents, so they speak in parables. Every time they talk, they always say something that's beautiful and eloquent. And my mom asked me, she said, how do you know when a man is strong? And I was like, I don't know, man. I don't have time for this right now, Mom. And she said, you know a man is strong when he can carry the weight when it's heavy. The weight is heavy right now, I understand. But you're strong because you're my son. God gave you this mountain so you can show others it can be moved. That changed my perspective on this whole journey. Because a lot of times we see ourselves as like, man, I'm going through this. But if you look at it as like, yo, you were entrusted with this journey because you're the person that can overcome it. You're the only person that can climb that mountain.
The only one.
Yeah.
And sometimes
it's
like,
designed
man, God,
for you.
God, I wish you didn't believe in me this much.
I'm saying, you be like, you see, trying to give me that I can't bear. This one feel a little heavy, Lord.
Man.
I don't know if I can bear this one. You sure?
Sure, I'm your strongest soldier.
You know, and you know, just all these different parts of the story that I think about when you ask me that question. So yeah, like there are things that have helped me get to this point, but I can't sit here and say I did it by myself because just like my mom, you know, put her arm around my shoulder, I have mentors along the way. I got friends. Even shout out to Mark Spears. Mark Spears was there with me. There's an article
Mark
he
is
wrote.
Once again, the reason for this podcast is Marcus Thompson and Mark Spears.
Yeah.
So clearly he's touching lives.
My
Go
man,
ahead.
he was with me. I was on the floor. I had to sit in this machine that moved my knee for 8 hours a day.
Oh my gosh.
He came there, sitting there. My mom cooked. We were hanging out. He wrote an article about me. You guys could look that up. It was a tough time, but I want people to know, if you watch my journey, know that this too shall pass.
Yes.
Everything passes. And my whole thing was when it passed, I wanted to make sure I was better. Something was going to be better. Like I was going to be better at something. And so it just gave me this new lease on life to start taking chances.
All right. Okay, I know that's right. What? Y'all inspired yet?
Told you it's the wine, man.
I'm saying, when I tell you my eyelids are warm,
They just keep getting lower and lower.
like I'm hearing you, Festus. Okay, so I feel
I want to ask you a little bit about your broadcasting career.
yeah.
Okay.
That was something that you kind of learned on the fly too, right? You just
I
kind of
didn't
got
see
thrown
that
into
coming
it.
at all.
You what?
I didn't see that coming at all. I was a
Really?
very shy person.
No.
Like even when I played, I didn't like being.
Festus Ezeli, shy.
What?
Not since I met him.
See, this is the thing. It's kind of like the same way when I tell people I was really bad at basketball.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't see you see the finished product now.
Yeah.
So you didn't see the other part of the story, you know. And in the middle of the pandemic, I was one of those guys like, yo, I got to find a way to get better during this pandemic. So I took a public speaking class.
I know that's right,
Really?
public speaking.
Yeah, it was a class they were offering. They were offering these free classes.
Yeah.
I took one at Cornell.
Oh,
it was
okay.
called Executive Presence. And here I was in my room in front of the computer practicing to speak, and now I was like, man, how do you do this? This is crazy. I look insane.
I like the voice though. I hear the voice.
Oh man, it was because they have you like to practice with all this range, and you have to mimic comedians, and you have to
Yeah.
mimic people who are giving motivational speeches, and then you have to do your own, and you have to like speak. I was like, wow, like this is powerful, I started a podcast. The podcast at the time was called Rebuilding the Beast.
Oh, okay.
It was telling my story, and then I wanted to tell other people's stories. I had Steve Kerr on there. I had some of my former teammates. I had artists. I had even the regular man who had just had somebody on there who just lost her husband, and she wrote a book. The book was called Wife, Widow, Now What? And it's just like she was telling the story of how she overcame that.
Yeah.
I was personally inspired by these stories, but I wanted people to hear them. And this podcast, it was awesome. Like, it was great to hear their stories, but the effect they had on people was really powerful to me. So that's how I got comfortable in front of the camera. I think over the course of interviewing people, I interviewed Steve Kerr. Raymond saw me on there. I was like, yo, Raymond, what's going on? Because it was over Zoom.
Yeah.
And I think that just, that stuck with him. So Raymond called me after a little while. I was like, yo, broadcast position open. And
So it was Raymond.
Yeah.
Raymond Ritter, for those listening
Raymond
back
Ritter,
home.
who's the head of PR for the Warriors.
Wow.
The GOAT.
He is the GOAT. He's been in this league for a very long time. And
He discovered you as a broadcaster.
well, he offered me the job.
Well, yeah.
I first turned him down
What?
because I didn't know that that's what I wanted to do. I remember I told you I was mad at the game.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, that's not, I don't really want to come back. How it actually came back was that I came to a game in 2021. I came to watch the Warriors. I didn't want to come around basketball at all. One of the owners, minority owners, her name is Erica Glazer. We became good friends. I lived in LA at the time. And one of the times she was like, yo, I want to go to the game. Like, I need somebody to come with me. I was like, I don't want to go. I don't want to be around the game. She's like, I don't want to go by myself. Like, just come with me. I was like, oh, man, all right. And it's not like I can sneak in and sneak out. Like, I got to sit with her. She's an owner, so she's sitting
7 foot
courtside.
tall.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, man, I got to do all this stuff. And it was not an easy process. Like, it's not something that, like, I didn't want to be around it because it was like I'm watching everybody else move on. And it's like my presence is forgotten. But that's not how I felt when I came.
I was about to say,
Yeah,
I don't think forgotten is the word.
Nah, Bay Area does not forget, man. Because like Dub Nation is insane. Like when I showed up, everybody. I remember the first person I saw was Leandro Barbosa. I rushed out here from across the court. Easy. Like, oh man, we're back at this. Steph comes, give me a hug. All the guys, even young guys that I didn't even know that were drafted way after me. Man, hey, what's up? And they start calling me OG. I'm like, oh man, here we go with this.
Unk.
No, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. All right, relax. And so they're like, yo, and they put me on a big screen, all this stuff, and NBC called me again. They're like, hey, you're in town. Like, you want to do this? And I looked at Erica. I was like, "Yo, we leaving, right? We're leaving after the game." She was like, "No, I'm actually gonna stay. If you want to do this, I'll stay." Because I flew with her in her plane, and so I stayed. I did the gig one night, and I was like, "Man, this is fun." Like I had nothing to lose. I didn't want to do it. So you know how it happens when you just go out there. You got nothing to lose. So brought some good energy. They were like, "Yo, like, would you want to do more of these?" And so they gave me a few more games. I was like, "All right, why not?" So I did a few more games, and they went to the playoffs, and they were like, "Yo, you can be on the broadcast for the whole playoffs the rest of the time." And I started to enjoy it. I love being around the guys again. I love being around the city. It was different being at Chase Center. So yeah, this is like all the stories. Like I have so many stories like that, man. We're gonna be here all day.
Right? I want to hear it. Tell a story.
A story?
What's something that you experienced as a Warrior that when you think of, let's say, a funny story, maybe somebody on the team has a personality that no one knows they have. Maybe that's you. Yeah, take a sip. Take a gulp.
Chug it. There's more over here.
That when you think about your time with the team, that's the first story that comes back to mind.
One of my favorite people was Leandro Barbosa.
Okay.
He was just super funny, man. Like, man, I'm really scared. I've been drinking this wine. I don't really drink, guys. So like, as I'm drinking, I'm like, I don't know what story I'm about to tell right now. This stuff is just coming out. Hold on, let me gather myself, get myself together.
I'm gonna be real. This silver oak, is this what it's called?
Silver oak.
This is delicious.
It came straight from the vine. Okay, because
it is pure.
It is pure. I have been in Vegas drinking all week. Mom and Dad, I'm sorry.
Wow.
I had one weekend where I really lived for my girl's bachelorette party, my teammate from college. I really lived with her because we had to do it one more time like we did it in college. So the fact that this is touching me is saying a lot. But then I also didn't eat much today, so maybe that's what it is. But it is a nice wine, okay?
I almost cooked for you guys, actually. I thought about it.
I was
like,
oh,
we were feasting with Whitney, with Airin Wit.
Next time you come back, I'll cook.
Because Whitley can cook.
Yeah, I can cook.
I didn't told y'all.
I was going to make you test my homemade spaghetti sauce. My Sandretto sauce.
The Sandretto sauce. Because you guys, she's Italian.
Yeah,
Guys,
I'm Italian. Next time.
I feel
Put me on Festus Feast with my Italian sauce.
I feel cheated now.
Taste test. Can't talk.
The only thing I'll say about that is we've had a lot of amazing times together. Me and teammates, we've had so many nights out. We celebrated.
What was the most epic night out?
My first New Year's in the NBA. We spent New Year's in Miami.
Okay, pause. Wait. Are you finna tell a story?
No, not really.
Okay, wait. I want to ask you then. I want to ask.
So we had a back. It wasn't back to back. We had a game on the 31st in Orlando, and we had to fly to Miami after that. And I think we were going to go out in Miami for New Year's. I have never seen a game to bus transition so fast in the history of the NBA. We beat them by 30 just so there's not going to be no overtime. I'm
done.
And by like 5 minutes left in the game, guys done doing their shoes, running to the locker room to showers. It was crazy. That's kind of how it was.
Okay, that's
Speaking
fun.
of this podcast, did you see D'Lo's comments about Steph not too long ago where he was saying how Steph doesn't use the refs to like enhance his game a little bit? Did you see all these comments and how he was like, that's why I look up to Steph? He's like giving him so much love.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Really? He said that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
He's like, that's why Steph's my favorite player because you see all these other players, literally drawing fouls, getting to the free throw line. That's their game.
They be on Shea, huh?
Yeah. But he did give Shea a little bit of love. Like he wasn't trying to go directly at him. But I feel like
fine timing.
Yeah.
Fine timing.
I mean, I'll say this. It says a lot that somebody like, I don't know if you ever heard people talk about Steph after before they became teammates with him and after they became teammates with him. There's always a lot of respect for him, not just as a player, him as a person. They're like, man, like one of my favorite things was DeMarcus Cousins talking about Steph. He was like, before he came here, he was like, man, like Steph, like you don't want anything extra, like you don't go ask for anything extra.
Yep.
Steph was like, nah, for what? like, do you even know who you are? You know what I mean? And I think, even Iguodala says it a few times, like, man, it's such a good thing that you have somebody who is a global superstar, but he's like a family man, like everyday guy. Like Steph would walk up and down the street over here if he could. Like it's really amazing to see that somebody can be that great and retain that hominess, that just keep being a good person. It's very inspiring.
That's funny you say.
No, go ahead.
It was funny you say that because I talked to Quentin Post the other day, and it's exact. I asked him about the car ride home with Steph, and literally that's all he said. He was like, I mean, I'm coming in thinking I would never be in the NBA, and I end up in the car with this guy that's like the NBA, and he's just the most humble person. He was like, we had like normal conversation, and maybe we talked about golf, but that was about it. Like he was like, he's literally just a normal guy, which is crazy. But you mentioned Iguodala, so you led me into it. I was gonna spare you, but I want to talk about this because obviously one of the topics going on right now in the NBA is where players want to play, saying that in my hometown they don't want to play in Memphis. A lot of players don't want to play in Memphis. Desmond Bane traded out of Memphis, and of course they're looking to bring somebody in. And I want to know, just from your perspective, not necessarily you weighing in on why people don't want to play in Memphis, but as an athlete, when you guys are looking at teams that you would like pray and hope to play for, if it's not about the talent of the team, then what are you guys looking for as that weighs out whether or not I want to be in that city? Is it the nightlife? Is it just the amount of people that are there, the population? Is it the vibe? Is it whether or not they're close to the West Coast? Is it the weather? Like, what is it that you guys are actually thinking about when it's like, I don't want to play for that team? Dang, I would really love to play for that team. Let's say they're great. Let's say they're good. They're competitive. So what else is it?
I mean, you have to think about who we were watching growing up. Like, I think the storied franchises. Like, you think about people who would kill to put a Lakers jersey on or a New York Knicks jersey on because of Madison Square Garden, because we can't wait to play over there. And this generation that's been watching Steph, they can't wait to put a Golden State Warriors jersey on. And, you can go down the line, Boston Celtics. I think that the team culture has a lot to do with it. Okay. I think the wins and being a part of winning is a lot to do with it too, but just a chance to play with some greats and have a chance to win. Like people want to play with Steph because they like, man, the basketball here looks so fun. KD came here, he's like, man, like those guys look like they're having a good time over there. Like I don't care about all this what y'all talk about legacy. I want to go have some fun playing ball. And you go down the line. Like think about how many people have come here and been better. Andrew Wiggins came here known as a scorer, and he came here. He was an all-star. He's, two-way player, won a championship here. Like, people have gotten a lot better being here in this system. I think that's something that people look at, too, is like, man, like, what can that system do for me?
Okay. I hear it. Still, you should want to play in Memphis, guys.
Memphis was, they were the destination team for a lot of people at one point.
At one point, they really were.
After everything that happened where,
I know. We got to get it together.
But still got Ja, so you're going to be all right.
Yeah, they'll be all right. It's just the fact that they were talking, is Giannis coming? I don't think he is. Is KD coming? Well, we see he's not. You get what I'm saying? It's just tough.
It's too late. It's
not too late. It's not too late. I think the people of the city of Memphis, though, are just kind of tired of taking the hit for things that we can't control. Like, there are things that, we love the Grizzlies. And the love there is like, I've seen some teams and it's unmatched, and it's just like one of those things where you just hope that it can change. The perspective of the city can change. I know we're spinning here. Okay, enough about ball. Enough about being an athlete. Yes. So let's play a little game. Okay. Just a little game. It's the first time.
Okay. All right.
Take a drink.
Rewind.
Take a drink. Take a sip. Okay. All right. So, you want to start?
Sure. I mean, the first one though is kind of, it's just a wine or liquor.
A no-brainer.
Done. Why? You said take a sip. I'm done.
Well, look. Okay. Wait. Okay, we got to match his energy. Can we finish?
I'm almost done.
Why am I the only one that has like a bunch of wine? I swear I was like, ew.
Damn, not us chugging wine on camera. Wow.
Delicious. Okay. Wine or liquor? Wine.
I'm just trying to show I'm not a baby. I'm trying to catch up to y'all.
I'm toasty. LeBron James or Michael Jordan?
Rapid fire.
I say LeBron just because before y'all,
when she
I didn't
asked me
grow up-
if she asked you that question, I told her you were gonna say Michael Jordan.
No, so the reason why is because I grew up in Nigeria, so I didn't get to watch Michael Jordan play.
No.
So everything I've seen is Last Dance or watching old tapes. Michael Jordan looks incredible, and the storyline of what he's done and everything, like watching, it's insane. 6 championships in a row while he played, took a break, came back, kept winning. That's just amazing, a testament to his greatness. I just watched it like a movie, so I don't really know the context of everything that was going on. With LeBron, I saw him, I played against him, I saw the IQ. LeBron James was calling sets on our team, telling guys on our team, like, yo, you're in the wrong spot. You should be over there for the play. Like, this is in the NBA Finals. And while everybody was getting tired, at the end of the year, everything hurts. Your back hurts, your neck hurts, your knees hurts, your ankle hurts. LeBron's getting stronger. He's getting faster. He's like, so I got to see that part of the game, and I got to see that up close. And that's the reason why I'm saying that.
All right. Stranded on the Island.
Okay.
You got 3 albums.
How the hell did I get there? That's not me.
Well, you know you like to travel.
Yeah, but it's not an island.
I know.
Well, yeah, keep going. Sorry.
What?
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like, what?
I've been on one island. That's not my thing.
The water?
Really?
Yeah, I'm
What
not doing
island was
islands
that?
anymore. I was on Richard Branson's island
Which one?
Wait, that's what?
in Bimini.
This is a little above our pay grade. Clearly. Because
What's the question?
Straight up though. Like maybe we should do that next trip there. Maybe not. He said he went out bad.
No, I had some friends invite me. They were like, "Yo, a friend." So people got crazy money, right? Like it's insane the people you get to meet. And they bought this island, and the island is called Mosquito Island. And they were like, "Yo, you want to?" I was like, let me just stop you right there. That's not
Mosquito Island.
There's nothing about that is. I'm just
Not trying to
saying.
get up.
Anyway, sorry. Keep going. See, I told you this wine, man.
Yeah, it's the wine. But yes, okay.
What's the question?
Okay, sorry, island.
Okay, stranded on the island.
Okay.
And you can only listen to 3 albums. What 3 albums you going with? Not really a this or that, but
Thriller.
cheers. We ain't got no wine. Should we pour up?
Yeah,
Thriller, Michael Jackson?
Yeah, hell.
Well,
We
I
need
guess
more.
we should tap.
There's a.
Do we do this on camera?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
This is a ad for Silver Oak now.
Silver Oak. Sponsor us.
Sponsor us. We're looking for sponsors.
We are clearly in the market.
Yes.
All right,
Yeah?
Thriller.
Really? In what ways are you on the market? What? Okay.
Whatever Jesus would allow. Cheers, Thriller, Michael Jackson. Okay. What else? You're stranded on this island. You got 3
Stranded,
albums.
and I can only listen to these 3 albums.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of what full albums. Oh, Craig David, Born to Do It.
Okay.
Y'all know about that.
I don't.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
like my
either.
first R&B. I mean, it's my second. I'm not going to say the first one because he's canceled, but.
Is he canceled?
Yeah, he's definitely canceled.
Oh,
He's
I mean,
very
I
canceled.
feel like you probably figured it out.
Yeah, he's very, very canceled.
I don't know this
Really?
man. No.
I'm assuming it starts with an R,
Yeah,
but
oof, yes, it is.
What? I think we still talking about Craig David. Okay. We talking about my man back home in jail.
See,
All
that
right.
was my. So I said Craig David was my second R&B album. Because
Okay.
the first one was.
Michael
something got
Jackson.
canceled.
was
Yeah.
Oh, the first
one.
deservingly so.
R. Kelly.
What's the other guy?
Okay, yeah, he out of
so
here,
my
but he do
third-
got some hits. Okay.
Yeah, what's my third album?
I did not strike you as one of those listeners, but I love that for you.
So when I was growing up, I wasn't allowed to listen to rap. My parents wouldn't let me listen to rap, so I listened to everything from Christian music to country to blues to I knew everything about Michael Bolton. I knew Celine Dion. I knew nothing about rap until I
Okay.
became a teenager. I could buy my own CDs.
Yeah.
So I knew a lot of R&B.
Okay.
What's my last one?
What's your last one?
My last album.
Puck.
What's a full album I can listen to? Man, I might need to go Whitney. I'm gonna go Whitney on y'all.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't give you albums. I can say definitely a Michael Jackson album.
No, Pac. Sorry.
Pac is like trying to jump up. He's like, yo, I need to get up there.
Look at Festus.
He's like, okay, no, don't hop up.
Huh? He's trying to hump me? No, I was trying to grab him.
No, but he was trying to hump your arm.
Really?
Okay.
Wait, what's your go-to karaoke song?
There we go.
Ooh.
This is supposed to be rapid fire, Festus.
No, I was trying to think. So I sang. Okay, the other day I sang "I Want It That Way," Backstreet Boys.
Okay.
So that was a song I sang.
Okay.
That's a song I sang when my rookie hazing. I sang that. My senior night at Vanderbilt, I sang that, and then it just became a thing now. Or my friends, this is just what they want.
That's a crowd pleaser. I will say at karaoke,
Yes.
that is a crowd
Nobody
pleaser.
You don't have to
going-
sing. You don't have to sing. Because
Exactly.
soon as the song comes on, everybody's singing it for
Exactly.
you. So that's a good way to
Okay.
get out of karaoke.
I know that's
If you don't
right.
like it.
Okay. LA or San Francisco? Because I know
San
you're by
Francisco.
coastal.
San Francisco.
Or by
San Francisco. I love the heart. I love the
Bi-directional.
fact that we got greens. You can drive. You drive 30 minutes. You be in the forest. You drive the other way. You got water. We got hills. Like it's so beautiful over here.
It's cold.
And actually, I like that. Like I like to put a hoodie on.
Yeah,
so for me,
same.
that's great. If it gets too cold, I don't like that. But I like to have a hoodie on. Like today is perfect.
I'm from the South.
It's like 65 degrees today. It's
Yeah,
great.
I love it.
It's June. Okay,
I
go
know
ahead.
that's true. It's crazy.
Homebody or outside?
I'm inside. I'm a early morning like daytime guy. So I'm outside during the day, but yeah, I'm at home at night.
Wow.
All right. Start, bench, cut. And I won't make you choose restaurants, but styles of food. So seafood, Mexican food, Italian food. Start, bench, cut. It don't have to be those three, but start, bench, cut.
I can cut seafood for sure.
Ooh.
I'm definitely starting Mexican and Italian. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna switch. I don't know. Italian. I love Italian, but like I'm not great with gluten.
Okay, so you gonna bench Italian.
I'm gonna have to cut it.
Okay, cut
'Cause I-
Italian.
So I can't even make you my spaghetti then.
No, so here's the
Slurp
thing.
the sauce.
I was
My
gonna
sauce
drink the
is so good.
sauce.
Honestly, you could eat it.
So the thing about it is, I can only eat that stuff overseas. So like the processed stuff is tough for me.
That's true.
Which is good in some ways. 'Cause I get to
Well, I'm
stay in shape.
American. All right, a little spicy, but not too spicy. What do you prefer, the apps or meeting organically?
I'm better in person. I don't
Agreed.
I won't even say I got game. So
Chivalry
I'm much
is still
better in person.
alive, guys. Okay, toss the
Does
apps.
anybody like the apps better? People like the
No.
apps
No,
better?
don't
I
like the
think
apps. I refuse.
that's everyone's last resort.
I don't even do them.
I've attempted it.
I mean, but people slide in your DMs. That's still the apps.
Yeah.
Like what?
I haven't been on apps, so
I don't really.
see that? See?
Well, I don't really respond.
I'm saying, but
Yeah.
you have.
Not really. I've never met anybody that from a DM. Never.
Okay, I've met people on the DMs. Like I'm not gonna act like that's not a thing. Like I've met people on apps, but I've never met somebody and pursue something off of an app.
I've
so like,
only
Yeah.
ever dated somebody after meeting them in person. Literally at a grocery store, at work, maybe at work. Not really, not in this field.
I met my ex
but-
we were paying for the meter before we went into the
Well, there
building.
you go.
Like, yeah,
See,
so like,
yeah.
same thing.
Yeah. No,
I've-
but all my coworkers, I shall say, met their wives and husbands on the apps.
I have
So,
experience from each
So maybe
thing.
I'm fighting a losing battle here.
So
Yeah.
so you've done both.
Yeah.
Which one has
I met
been
someone
more
on an app
successful?
one time. Didn't work out eventually.
Which one was better? Which one was a better experience? I don't know. It's kind of weird to say.
I
better
feel like
experience
meeting
about
someone-
exes.
I mean, none of them worked out.
No, but like things don't work out sometimes. But it's
Yeah.
like it still was a good experience. But
Yeah.
like it's not my person.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
tell this quick story because we do story time. I met somebody, literally me and my mama would always go walking in the mornings. We'd do our little 3-mile walk. And I am always in a hoodie, had my hair tied up, just not what I would go out in the public looking like usually. And I was like in Kroger, and literally this guy, and he worked at Kroger because I don't discriminate. He was fine, and he was sweet, and he was chivalrous. And he came up to my mom. He didn't even come up to me, and he approached my mom the correct way and was like, "Is that your daughter?" And she was like, "Yes." And he was like, "Would you mind if I spoke to her?" And she was like, "I'm gonna go over here, Erin, and find the tomato sauce." And I was like, "Mom, don't." And I was like, "Mom, don't leave me." But It was really nice. Actually, he was from the West Coast, from the Bay Area, actually. But he was in Memphis at the grocery store. And I had so much respect for him because I looked like I had just been walking. Laps. Okay? I was not like...
I've heard that's what men like, though. Like,
Yes, please
Yeah.
take the makeup off and like it's okay for us to see you natural.
Y'all say that, but then y'all act
like this
so
morning,
crazy.
You
What?
called me this morning to talk about the podcast.
Oh, okay.
So I got
Since you
bad
mentioned
service.
it,
So I got bad service in my house.
yes, and
So
he
I
wanted to
FaceTime,
FaceTime me and
she
see
was like,
me in my bunny.
she
and my-
FaceTimed the ceiling. She's like, nah, you don't get to see that.
You're not gonna see me in this collagen mask and this bunny. That's like I told him that's VVIP access.
that's like for us when we like FaceTime each other in the morning.
Wake
we're
up!
like,
If you want to see me like that, wake up next to me. You're not gonna see me like that no other way. No, I cannot do it. No, I'm not gonna let you see me. Plus, the FaceTime camera is trash. Apple, let's get it
That's
together.
true. That's true.
The FaceTime camera is crazy. Any girl will tell you that.
Yeah, I know nothing about that. But
Yeah, y'all are mean. Y'all don't have to try hard. All right, but that's why. Organic.
Y'all are Airin Wit. Y'all had to try it all.
You know, I really appreciate that.
Yes.
We try. Sometimes we're just airing it out.
yeah, but I do agree. Organically is the best way to go.
Organic is the
Yeah.
best.
Bombs
Cookies or
dropping
cake?
Bombs. Cookies or cake? Cookies.
Cookies over cake? Mm-hmm. Wow, I'm a Southern girl. I like
cookies.
cake more than cookies.
Nah, you guys. Have you had a Pizookie?
No,
Yeah, you had the
I
cookies.
haven't.
You did.
You had my
Oh,
stick-
yeah.
Festus Feast.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
but
that
no.
was
Yeah, you had the
But-
cookie
but
with
have
ice
you-
cream on
Yeah.
top. Oh my lord.
Have you had orange cake? No. Have
That
you had
doesn't even
strawberry?
sound good.
No. Oh, it is amazing. That's the problem with y'all from out here. Y'all have not
Orange
had
cake.
Southern desserts. Southern
Yeah?
dessert is real. No knock to y'all Bay Area, but I don't even eat
here you
sweets.
go.
My name at home is Sweet Treat. I don't even eat sweets out here like that. To the point
I got
that.
a couple places for you.
All right, help me out.
Yeah, I got you.
Help
I got
me
you.
out, 'cause
Festus
this-
Feast to the rescue.
Okay, Festus Feast to the rescue.
You got the
Okay.
Snickerdoodles. Remember those?
Yes.
Christmas? Yeah.
No, but the cookies are good and the cakes are good. But I'm just saying, y'all have not had Christmas and Thanksgiving
Yeah,
in the
because you're trying to
South.
slather and batter and oil and butter. Like, dude, relax, man. We can. It's okay. We can. Yeah.
Hey, it's good though.
It's good.
It is
I
good.
went to school in
good.
Nashville. I know about
Okay,
it. Yeah.
see, you kind of know,
Yeah.
but Nashville is kind of like.
Oh wow.
I'm from Memphis,
Bullets
Nashville.
everywhere.
Well,
Jeez, they
well,
shoot it in the
well-
Bay, Nashville. Jeez.
Maybe.
All right.
Oh, the last one.
You think so? All right. So, would you rather watch a sunrise or stargaze?
Sunrise.
Yeah, because you
Sunrise
said you're a
is-
morning person.
Yeah, no, sunrise for sure. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
In 2022, I went through my year of yes. I said yes to everything.
Mm-hmm.
It took me some crazy places, but it's okay. We're not gonna talk about that.
Well, we should.
I went to Burning Man.
Oh,
really?
How was it? My
I've heard
cousin
that's
goes to
crazy.
Burning Man, but
It-
I've never been and she won't tell me what it's like.
No, so before I went, I was so scared because I thought it was just sex and drugs and people were just being
That's
crazy,
what I
white
heard.
people all over
Yeah.
the place running around naked. And it wasn't like, it wasn't that. It's choose your own adventure. Some people are doing that, but it's 80,000 people. I went in 2022. 80,000 people. They make a city in the middle of the desert. And there's everything. Like there's a post office. Like they just make it for that week.
Oh.
And then they tear it all down. And they take care of the earth. They take care of each other. There's this thing where there's like radical self-expression. They have these 10 rules, right? Like you gift people things. Like people are so kind, so like amazing. But the best part is how creative people are. Because people come there just to create experiences for other people. So whatever your thing is, like if you are an artist, you just want to create art so other people can come enjoy it. No
Really?
charge, there's no money there. You have the Philharmonic Orchestra playing. You have people making, like this guy brought a 747 and turned it into a DJ set, like whatever, like it's
What?
crazy. Like I don't even know, like
I thought that was a
people.
gun.
Oh God.
I was like, wait, what? He brought a
About
aired it out very-
a plane. Not Erin. Jeez. No.
Cut her off.
No more wine for you.
I was like, a 747? Yeah, y'all weren't running?
No, so the point of this story is that was my.
I can't stand you. Said y'all were running?
Y'all weren't
Okay.
Oh man, the point of the story is that we were. I got to see the sunrise. Like we stayed up all night. We stayed until sunrise, and like it was just so beautiful. And I'm sitting there with my friends, and like we're like, man, like it was just one of those moments where I had prejudged this thing. Like I thought it was something that I would never enjoy. And I just got to see the beauty of people who I probably would never have come in contact with, maybe not. And there was so much beauty around me that it made me even more open to trying new things. So seeing that sunrise, seeing those people, being in that space somewhere that was very new and foreign for me, has led to more things now. I say yes to things now that's like, that's kind of crazy, but like, I just want to see what it will be. Not crazy like what you think.
I'm just saying you're adventurous.
I just love to experience life. Because you got to think, like, I am overseas right now. Like, this is, I started on the other side of the world, and now I'm overseas. So I'm on an adventure currently.
Yeah, okay. Well, we love that adventure. And we love
Yeah.
that you adventured out and came on to Airin Wit.
Yeah,
with
and you
us.
spent so much time with us, so we really appreciate it.
We really do.
We told him starting, it'd be like 30 minutes, 45 minutes tops.
We not apologizing. This was his fault. He the one that brought the silver oak. That's okay.
Silver Oak sponsored the podcast already.
Please.
Well, that is episode 9.
This is probably our best episode yet, for
Probably
sure.
so. We
Yeah.
keep saying it. We say
That's
that
it,
every
that's
show. But
everybody.
I will say, Festus definitely brought a needed energy onto the podcast. Our first in-person guest. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you guys.
Yes,
thank you
thank you
ladies,
so much.
rather. I appreciate you.
All right. Good night.
How do we sign out?
Just like that.
Okay, sign out. Sign out.